Okay, I'm gonna do the best I can to record this for you. So the first thing that I'm using is a shea butter. It is a soap base. What this means is that it's a pour and melt. In other words, it's already the base of the soap. I'm not using any of the lye products, which is what you do from scratch. I'll get there though. That's my goal. But right now I practice on these until I can get a house where I can do my other products or do my own lye solution, because that you actually need to be in a well ventilated area and use I guess I like goggles and gloves and things like that. So definitely don't use that yet because of where I'm at and where I live. So this is a shea butter. You can get this in Amazon, but you can also get it at bulk, in bulk, or buy it in an apothecary, which is Bulk Apothecary. That's the name of it. But this one's shea butter. You can also use goat's milk. You can also use oatmeal. They have oatmeal and honey. They have honey. They have clear ones, white ones. They have all kinds of different soap bases that you can play around with. So I got this one. This one's 2 pounds. 2 pounds. So I'm gonna use half of this. I'm not gonna do the whole full 2 pounds. I already have my cocoa. I did 1 tea. Monica, how much of the cocoa did we use?
1.5 teaspoons.
1.5 teaspoons.
Haha.
Thank you. And I have the coffee. I actually had to grind it because I used the Nescafe like instant coffee. So all I did was like put it in my magic bullet to make it a little bit more thinner or finer powder. I have 2 tablespoons here. I think I told you that I want to use the cocoa powder. Usually more for coloring than having chocolate in the soap. I'm not gonna eat it. This is just for coloring. That's my little helper. Say hi.
Hello.
Okay. I have a little bit of SLSA, which is this sodium lauryl, whatever that word is. Don't laugh.
Show me.
She knows. She's a brain.
No, I have no idea. Never mind. Normally I would know.
SLSA. And I put 1 teaspoon in here, and then I added water to mix it in with water. I have almond oil. I love almond oil. I try not to use coconut oils in the soaps because they turn to make the soap harsher if you do put too much. So I rather just use things like olive oil or almond oil or avocado oils. And that's in here. I used for the oil, this is 1 teaspoon. I actually wanted to do 2 teaspoons, so I'm going to add the second one here. So I'm going to do 2 teaspoons.
Nice.
And then 2 teaspoons. All right, rinse that out for me, please. Helper. Vanilla fragrance.
What's the name? Mom.
It's pretty good. It smells delicious.
Hey, what's that?
I want to eat it. Vanilla.
I need to smell this right now. Oh my.
Okay, so that's
Can
just
I
a
have,
little
like, the entire
fragrance.
soap of that, please?
Well, I'm making the soap. Okay, let me put this back. I wanted to put some Dead Sea salt just to make it a little bit more exfoliating. I think I might still.
Mom, where is it? Oh, it's over here.
I have a little bit of it left, as you can see. It's actually it's a brand new bag of Dead Sea salt. Right there. It says so right there. So I'm gonna be probably adding this to it. Just FYI, you can get something like this with your micas, and these are just it's mica powder. These are colorants for soaps and for bath bombs and things like that. And this is, I haven't used them yet. I didn't want to use any of these colorants yet. I actually want to use these for bath bombs and for soap bars, bath bars, I'm sorry, that I'm going to be using, bubble bath bars that I'm going to be trying to make soon. So if you want to join me for that one, since you couldn't join me for this one, we can do that as well. But they have a lot of neat colors. I haven't used them yet, but I'm pretty excited to do that. I got all the ingredients for that already, so I'm pretty stoked. But I wanted to use a natural colorant for the soap itself, so I can't seem to close that here. Little helper. Thank you very much. I'm gonna cut this in half so I can get my 1 pound out of it because I haven't done that yet.
Yeah, just close it up. Bro, that was easy. I think you just like closing it. Oh my god.
Alright, so this comes out pretty easily. So the cool thing is it comes in little squares like that, so you know where to cut. That shouldn't be hard. I still won't cut a straight line because, you know, I never can. No matter how it's drawn out for me. So I'm gonna cut this in half.
It's an indent, Mom.
The indent,
Cut a straight line.
Monica.
You cut a straight line, Mom. You did it.
It wasn't too bad.
You're
It doesn't really have a.
Has a
It's pretty bland. It has a very, very
Oh, nice.
bland smell. So
Smells
hopefully
nice.
that'll change with the coffee
I like
and the
the
vanilla and the chocolate.
I like scents like that.
Chocolate.
It's called chocolate, Mom.
Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and cut all these into the little pieces that it's got, the indents, and then we're gonna melt it in the microwave. You can use a double boiler. By Nana Maria.
Please.
We're using the microwave.
Microwaves are cool. I like microwaves. You like to cut your wrist. Why are you doing that?
I wish I had a way to put where the camera where you can see what I'm doing, except having my little helper like show you.
What? Really?
Yeah, hold her like this while I cut this stuff.
You're kidding.
Because you know she needs to learn how to cut, and she needs to watch me cut.
I think
so
she knows how to
knows.
cut, Mom. It's really simple to cut, Mom.
You think so?
Yes, it's very simple. We all know it's dangerous. Like, it's simple, Mom.
I feel like a YouTuber. OMG, please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe.
Mom, that's terrifying. Please stop.
But why?
Oh, you
that would
really
be
just
fun.
did that.
That would be fun.
Yeah, don't talk like that. That is terrible. That's how you don't get subs. That's how you get 0
Can I
subs.
pause this so she doesn't have to see me melting this? Oh, I don't know if I can pause this. All right, I guess we're
it doesn't
wait for the
matter
whole
that
thing.
much.
All right, so there they are. I'm gonna melt it. Oh,
I don't know what to
I'm gonna start with 30 seconds, and then from there, I might do 30 seconds more. But once you see it start melting, you want to go ahead and go get me the spatula. You want to start stirring it to melt it within the ones that are already melted because you don't want to overheat it. So maybe after you see that it's halfway melted, you want to go every 15 seconds instead of a full 30 seconds.
What spatula do you speak of? Oh, that one. That makes sense. I want to do this.
Okay, be careful. Put it in for 30 seconds, please.
I know.
Wow.
Hey, I'm sorry.
30 seconds.
I know.
All right, so while that's happening, let me show you the mold.
Ooh, it's wrong using.
And I'm too short and I can't reach them. Can you give me the step stool? Yes, I need a step stool. Don't laugh at me.
Wait, you need the pink one? Which one?
I need the pink mold. So I have 2 types of molds. I have this one.
Oh, it's right here.
Okay, so I have this one, which already has the little cutouts for you. So you just pour it in there and it's already measured. I like these, but I really want to use this one today. These are silicone. I really want to use this one, which I probably should have washed because it looks a little dingy. Here.
We haven't used it in so long.
Wash that and dry it really good. This is 1 loaf. I don't know the measurements. I don't remember them, so I'm sorry. I owe you that. Or maybe... Let me put this over here. So
It's
she doesn't have
disgusting.
it.
How long has it been since you've done this?
It's been a while since I made a soap, baby.
People like this is disgusting.
So I'm thinking I'm going to mix the vanilla in with the almond oil. And that can be poured in at the end. Okay, so this little bottle, I'm gonna tell you what it is for. You can use 90% alcohol. I was only able to find 70% because, you know, we're in a crisis in a pandemic and everybody took the alcohol. So I only found 70%, which is fine. It still works. So you kind of do use a spray bottle, rubbing alcohol. And what you do is when you pour your soap into the mold, it's gonna create little bubbles on the top. So what you do is you spray it down and it takes away the bubbles. So that way you don't end up with little bubbles on the top. So that's a helpful tip. You're welcome. I'm gonna do that now. I don't need too much for today, but I definitely want to fill it up a little longer.
Go away, Jonathan.
Okay,
Go away.
so that's good. I can use the rest for actual other stuff. I'm making a YouTube video.
No,
I'm telling everybody
it's not YouTube.
to hit the like button and subscribe.
My God, Mom, stop. It's not actually YouTube.
Zen's going to watch that. That's the draft. Yeah.
Oh, it finished a while ago.
No, the draft is starting at 8.
No, that.
Oh, really? You're such a...
I was doing this, Mom. What am I supposed to do about that?
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put another 30 seconds. It's going to take a while. Sometimes it takes a little bit. Yeah, it starts at 8, so you need to put it back when it's done. Okay, so in the meantime, while that's done, I should have done that first before starting to record this. I got the little bath bomb. These are new. Molds. Because I was using the plastic ones. So I got these to make. They're kind of bigger. So that's pretty cool.
I need the, where did I put it?
What do you need, my love? The spatula? I have the spatula.
Not the spatula, Mom. The drying thing. You just had it. Oh my God, I'm done.
Okay, go dry it over there so I can... Okay, so once you start seeing it, you see that it's starting to melt, but it's not really like melted. You kind of want to mix it around a little bit. Just a little bit, and then you go ahead and put some more. So far we have a minute in. So another 30 seconds.
There's clean. Here you go.
Thank you. Okay. So those are my bath bomb stuff. And I can show you how to make those soon too. That would be fun.
Sorry.
You can make those together one day. I'm super excited because this is like the best hobby ever. How about like a whole bunch of cornstarch, a whole bunch of baking soda, the citric acid, all those things you need for bath bombs.
So I just mix it around?
Yeah, mix it around. I definitely should have melted that before. I'm sorry. You can fast forward this part. What else? Maybe if you were here, like in person, we could have talked. What'd you say? I miss you.
Yeah, I just put it down. It's not good.
Yeah, go ahead and put another. Put let me see. Yeah, put another 30 seconds. So pretty much once you got the soap base ready to go and melted, so you want to move as quickly as possible. What I want to do is I want to do 2 colors. I want to keep one. I wish I had. I'm making a video for Annie. You want to say hi? Because she couldn't connect, but she wants me to show her how to do the soap. So I'm making a video for her. You know, so it's just a one-way video right now.
Were you teaching her how to cook crack?
It's not crab!
She has baking soda in there.
It is called soap.
No.
She will stab you.
Here, baby. I'll use this one instead.
We'll get some traction.
Mama, I think
He's gonna change it back. He's just fixing something real quick.
No, I'm not talking about that. It's just what it is.
Is it good enough?
This is crap.
Yep. So it's almost melted, but you see it still has one or two little bolitas.
What is that? I can't. What is that? How long? 30 seconds? 15.
Put 15 seconds, please. Start doing 15 seconds from now on until that is all completely melted. We don't want to overheat it, but we don't want it to be super duper. We want it to be more loose so that we can work with it longer. Anyways, I was telling you I wanted to do 2 colors, and I wish I would have gotten some oats because I would have done some ground oats, and I could have made that part of the soap look like avena, more oatmeal-ish with that green color, and then I could have done the other. But it'll work. Make it look cool.
Oh my god! You're calling it crap! That's the best! He's the best!
So I'm gonna try a technique. The technique that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna divide the colors like I told you. So I'm gonna do one white and the other part is gonna be with the cocoa. And so I'm gonna kind of pour it in. I'm trying to figure out, honestly, I'm doing it as I go. Trying to figure out if I want to pour it in at the same time so it can like get together like that and then just do funny stuff on the top. Or if I just want to layer one out, then wait for it to cool just a little bit so I can put the other layer on top and then kind of like play around with it to swirl it in. That could be cool too. I'll put another 15 seconds.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, because my helper abandoned me. Put another 15 seconds. I'm gonna pour my first batch here with my cocoa, my coffee. I'm actually gonna put my oils first, fragrance, and my SLSA together with the whole thing before I divide it. So that way, I'll use this one instead. I usually don't measure out the vanilla or any kind of fragrances. I'm gonna use a whole dropper on this one. And the reason for that is, or maybe a whole dropper doesn't fill. Okay. The reason for that is I just smell it, and if I like it, I like it. If I think it's perfect, it's perfect. If not,
give me a spatula.
then I'll add more.
Told you I didn't abandon you.
I think it's gonna smell really good. So that's like my third. The dropper doesn't even fill up that high.
I
So
think it's good.
that's like 4. So I'm gonna stop there for now. I think it's good too, babe. Bring it over. Actually, I'll bring it. I got it.
No,
It's so
I know
hot.
how to not. I know how to not burn myself.
Thank you. I love you forever.
I know how to not burn myself.
So that's perfect right there. And I'm gonna go ahead and add my SLSA.
How long did that take?
And stir, Monica.
Oh, it's supposed to be stirring?
Yeah, stir it. Actually, you can grab a whisk. Yeah, for this part. So SLSA, what it does, I don't know if I told you at the beginning, but SLSA, what it does is it actually helps with more lather. So that's what this is going to do.
What do I do with the spatula?
So I'm hoping that that's enough, because I usually, when I do the soap bases, they're pretty they lather, but not all the time as good as I would like. So I definitely
Should I stop?
want you lather.
Should I stop? Should I keep
Go ahead and take the spatula out for
Where do
now.
I put the spatula?
Right here is fine. I'm just gonna whisk that in. I need the wherever you put the towel. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and mix my oils in, which I already forgot how much I put, but I'm sure if you rewind all the way to the beginning, I can tell you can find out. And I'm gonna add that in. And you might not be able to smell the vanilla right away because the soap itself, the soap base is melted and it actually creates, not bad fumes or anything, but like a stronger scent when it's melted.
Here you go. Mom. Mom.
I might add more. We'll see.
Towel.
Thank you, my love.
I've had it for like 5 minutes.
I know, I saw you, mi vida.
What you say?
Mi vida.
Oh.
Mi cielo, mi reina. Do you know what mi vida is? How much more do I want? Do I want more dark? I'm trying to think of this through. I think I do want more of the dark than the white. So I'm gonna pour.
More dark than white? Nice.
I think this is pretty even. So let's do it like that. Let's do it
This isn't
even.
even to me, but I think.
Well, because of the, okay.
Ooh, I want the tackle.
I'm gonna go ahead and pour the cocoa first.
Oh,
Go ahead. Pour that baby in.
Hey, Markfish. Like all at once or
Yeah,
a little bit
go
at a
ahead.
time? Boink. I don't want to drop it. I really don't feel like breaking something today.
Oh, that's good, Mama. You can put that to wash now.
Oh,
I'm making leche de quick.
what?
All right. I gotta just stir this quickly because
Because, yeah, that's a perfect explanation.
yeah. And then I want to use my spatula to kind of get the sides in.
It's good. Ooh. That smells good.
So what I'm doing is
Because
getting
it
this
has cocoa in it, aka chocolate.
spatula.
So it smells like chocolate's on.
It smells like chocolate and it has vanilla.
It smells great.
Thank you.
Yeah, we know.
And then we're gonna have.
How much money?
So even though it might have specks, I'm cool with that because I don't mind it. My soaps don't have to be perfect, and I think it gives it actual. But if you see, it's pretty chocolatey. Parece leche de quick. To be honest with you, whoa, that's not it. I know. My shirt was pretty cool.
I know.
So, looks like milk.
Looks like
All right.
chocolate milk.
Yeah, it does. I'm gonna go ahead and pour this. I think I'm gonna pour the coffee in both, like part in. Could give me the other, another whisk, please.
Which one?
I think I'm gonna do 1 teaspoon
Which one?
in each, like
there's no
divided that way. Mama, the smaller one. Let me see how I can put this so you can see it better. Maybe.
Maybe what?
I want her to see it, so maybe I can use this.
Boy, I didn't even run into it.
All right, so I'm gonna start putting it with teaspoons in each. Go. Okay, so I'm gonna give you this. You need to start stirring as soon as I start pouring because if I don't know if you can see it, but it's starting to create a film over it, which means it's starting to not harden, but create a film over it. Stir, whisk, just whip it. Whip it real good.
What the heck, Mom?
Okay, that's it. That's good for that one. I'm pouring the rest in here. So I added 2 teaspoons on that one. And I added the rest in here because I want that one to be
Oh my god, it smells so good.
more creamy. I don't think I even needed to add vanilla. This smells delicious. It really smells like espresso and mocha lattes.
Oh wow.
Again, coffee is good for exfoliating.
Really?
Yep, and for cellulite. Look it up. You can Google it.
What?
Yep. All right, whisk it good. Let me go ahead and get the spatula here. I can't wait to show you the color on that one. That one looks beautiful.
I can't wait to watch anime.
Okay. So I am going to add a little bit more because again, I love my fragrances. And I want to make sure
Extend?
that I can smell the vanilla as well.
Yes, I need to smell
Because the
vanilla.
coffee is pretty strong smell.
Very, very fun. Oh my.
It approved. Okay. my first batch is made. That's done. We're gonna pour out soon. I'm gonna let it cool off just a tiny bit. And the reason for that is because if you don't let it cool off a tiny bit, then you're gonna have the coffee grounds are gonna sink to the bottom. This is what the second batch looks like.
I did that.
It actually looks like espresso coffee. So
So I'm
again,
good at that.
I wanna let it cool off just a tiny bit.
I want to eat it. But you know I can't eat that.
I don't have a little temperature tool thing, which would be really, really cool to have, because then you can just point at it and then it'll test it out. I really want one of those.
Buy one.
But I will. I'm just saying I don't have one right now. So I could test exactly what you want to have it at 120 to 125. I think it's Fahrenheit. Before you pour it.
How do you not know? You make salts. How do you not know this?
Because I had my book. I used to have a book with all my recipes and all my measurements. I lost it years ago, and that's why I stopped.
I have seeds, so.
Thank you.
What
I
are you doing?
just keep mixing because it does create a film on the top, like I told you, but I do want it to cool off a tiny bit more. I don't know what this is gonna look like. This is my first time inventando this one. I made a coffee one before, but never with cocoa. And not exactly like this. I made it with oatmeal the first time. So I think I'm gonna pour the darker color first, which is the coffee and the
Yes, that is so much better than the frozen.
coffee and the
Yes, I did that.
Monica. Hold on, let me see. Hold on. Let me figure this out, my love.
I can hold it.
Right here.
You know I can hold it, right?
You know, I could just flip it. Ave Maria Purísima.
Did you never think about that? Seriously?
No, I can't.